Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this video by giving praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Racha, Kodash, the bonus to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Lord's elect. Beginning with the 144,000. This is Arat Zah from the Great Millstone GMS Atlanta camp once again. All right, with another quick video. And I believe the title of this one I had was "The Signs Are All There." All right, the signs are all there, which is basically referring to the prophecies, okay, which is our memo here at Great Millstone GMS. From the apostles on down, we put a heavy emphasis on the prophecies, because essentially the scriptures put a heavy emphasis on the prophecies, and we in that time, we in the time of Esau, which is the so-called white man. We in the time of his downfall. His kingdom is collapsing. As the Lord said, I behold, I've seen, roughly paraphrasing, behold, I've seen Satan falling like lightning. All right, the Lord is really prophesying about these times that we in, all right, the end, and pretty much all the signs are there. We see it, all right, on a daily basis. Like the apostles say, man, you can't really turn from the internet or basically put your phone down, because there's always something happening, and then not to mention you have the signs in the heavens, the blood moons, the lunar and solar eclipses, and the planets aligning, and all these sorts of things. It seems like every month that goes by, there's something happening in the skies and the heavens. So these are all, symbols and tokens that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is revealing on the earth, and the only ones that's really picking it up are the true believers of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. While the world is just going on and they're indulging in their wickedness. Also, as the Lord said, we speaks about this being as the time of, likened unto the time of Noah, when the people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark. All right, and then it said the flood came and took them all away. It's going to happen again, but this time the flood's going to be by the way of fire. All right, which is the second death, Revelation 20. But just wanted to get a couple of scriptures. All right, we'll start here. Matthew 16th chapter. He says, see, it says Pharisees test Yahweh Shai. All right, which they always trying to trip Yahweh Shai up or catch Yahweh Shai in his words. But the Lord was too wise. The Lord always had a good comeback to where they would basically get confounded. So this is Matthew 16:1. It says the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. It says, O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times. That was a badass analogy that Yahweh Shai gave. So people can discern the weather. All right, you can look outside, look at the sky, and tell, it's probably about to rain a little bit. Or you can see the clouds, or it's a storm coming. Okay, it's about to be nighttime because the sun is going down. People can discern that, but they can't discern what's going on around them. They can't see that the quote unquote world is ending, or that all hell's about to break loose. You see, but that's really because the Lord blinded them. They're fast asleep. Even though they're living, walking around, eating, and all that, drinking, and they're physically alive, but spiritually they're dead or asleep. So they can't discern the signs right in front of them. But those of us who have been awakened, we can see clearly what time it is. All right, and all the signs are laid out, and the Lord is pouring out more signs on the earth. And these are things that keeps our faith on fire. It keeps our hope up, by witnessing and seeing these things. Yeah, so that was the point. All right, let's move on. Second Ezra 9, and we'll start at the top. The point is in verse 5. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, in which we're measuring the time by analyzing and judging what's happening on the earth with the scriptures. All right, we're measuring the time by looking at what's going on, and then we go reference back to the scriptures. Okay, this is what the scripture was talking about, so we must be close. You know, we're getting a measurement of the times by correlating it with the Bible. All right, and this is verse 2. It says, Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. See that? Yeah. So by measuring the times and referencing the scriptures, then we have a good understanding of this is the time that the Lord spoke about, and when he's about to visit the world, which we always go into that word visit. It means to judge. Okay. Yeah. So Yahweh Shem Yahshua is about to judge the earth, and these are some of the signs that he said to look for. Verse 3, it says, Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. See that? So these are all things that the Lord spoke about through the prophets, through the mouth of the prophets, from the very beginning. Now we're living in a time where the visions are coming to pass, or the words are coming to pass. You see, we see that. We see earthquakes happening, pretty much worldwide. We see the uproars of the people happening worldwide, and it's getting more and more chaotic. Okay, verse 5, it says, For like as all is made in the world had the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. See that? Yeah, the word manifest means to be made clear or to be made obvious. Okay, so everything has a beginning and everything has an end, right? So we, at one point, Esau had his beginning. He had his, inception of establishing America and the beast system, and well, really going back to the Renaissance period where he came back into power. But now we at the end, we at the tail end of this man's rulership, and it's manifest, it's clear, it's obvious to us that the Lord's about to bring this man down. Verse 6, it says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. See that? Effects and signs. All right, which the Lord is showing us the signs that we are at the end. All right, of this man's rulership. So it's signs all over the place. And again, this is what keeps our or what helps keep our fire burning, knowing that just one day, or really that every day that goes by is one day closer to the wicked being uprooted and then the righteous being replaced in his stead, man, as the scripture says. All right, that was the point on that, I believe. Next scripture is 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, beginning at the let's see, the 29th verse. The point is in verse 32, and it says, Behold, the day shall come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. See that? Everybody's not going to be destroyed or be put to death. There's a remnant who the Lord is going to deliver, which is the chosen of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, verse 30, it says, And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall overtake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. All right, yeah, this is what basically is what the Lord said in Matthew 24th chapter, all right, where Yahweh Shai spoke about how nations shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, people against people, roughly paraphrasing. Yeah, you're going to have different quarrels, and people are going to be at variance on the earth. That's another sign. All right. What they say, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and everyone shall fight against his brother, something like that. I think it's in Isaiah, it was Isaiah 19, if I'm not mistaken. All right, verse 32. It says, "In the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I have showed thee before." Right. So like many of these signs, the Lord is just just reusing them, because they happened in the past. The Lord will show new things also, but many of these things, were already used as signs in the past. It says, "And the sign shall happen which I showed or shewed thee before, and then shall my son be declared." All right, which is referring to Yahweh Shai, "whom thou sawest as a man ascending." All right, but that's really a prophecy that goes into Acts. What's the Acts, the first chapter? All right, after the Lord rose, he dwelt on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Then he got basically beamed up into a ship. It says, "And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have against one another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion." Right, so people are going to try to fight it. They're going to stop fighting against each other, and they're going to try to fight against Yahweh Shai when he returns. All right, when you go up to the top of this chapter, it goes into that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about the man that flew on the mountain, which represents a mountainside spaceship or UFO or a chariot, the scriptures call it. So, but yeah, that was the point. It was in 32 where it speaks about the signs. Let's say, "And the signs shall happen, which I showed you before." Right. So we're in the midst of those signs happening, speaking clearly. All right, and it's a beautiful time to be in, man. So that's why the Spirit always urges us and encourages us to stay locked in, lock in, focus, be circumspect, and uh also what something that Yahweh Shai said, what, "Watch ye as well as pray, for you know not what hour your Lord cometh," roughly paraphrasing. So we just gotta do is watch. It's beautiful, man. Like I said, you can't really turn away turn away from your computer, all right, or really put your phone down, because you keep getting alerts of something popping off. So it's a hot time, man. All right, so I'm gonna leave it off there. All right, just had a couple, few scriptures in mind, so to put out there, on the unicorn. All right, and yeah, Lord, one, you was edified by this video, and it's on to the next one. Shalom.